Hello guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Today I'm super mega excited to be sharing this video with you guys because finally I found this movie that I've been waiting so long to watch. I was doing research, I couldn't find it anywhere. I was trying to find, just other platforms to watch it from. It was nowhere to be found, and finally after a lot of patience, after a lot of research, I found it. And yes, the movie is called Breaking the Ice, and yes, it's a LGBT Q movie, and yes, there are actually a lesbian couple in the movie that have a happy ending. And that's another reason why I just had to go ahead and do this review regarding this movie, because it's very slow but at the same time it's very emotional and it gets very deep very quick. And it's also a sports movie. I loved content that includes sports, so I just had to go ahead and do this review real quick regarding this amazing movie, and also talk about the relationship that actually develops between Theresa and Mira. But before we get into more details, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get right into more details. So basically the movie is called Breaking the Ice. Yes, it basically was released in 2022. It's a drama romance sport movie. It follows an Australian woman who escapes from the pressure of running her family's vineyard by playing ice hockey. In this case, her name is Mira. Yes, Mira is dealing with a lot when it comes to her family, summing it up in very quick words. So basically, her brother Paul was driving with their grandma in the car and they had an accident, and unfortunately, their grandma actually ended up passing away during that accident, and her brother actually ended up running away because he didn't know how to deal with the consequences of that situation that happened. So now, as the time progresses, you can see that of course her family is still grieving. Her grandpa is trying to have a lot of health issues. He's kind of dealing with a lot also mentally, and her grandpa is always asking for for her brother and where he is, and she doesn't know what to say. Her mother is also dealing with depression, and not only depression, she also has to take care of the winery and the business side of things, but Mira is also helping her out a lot. And her mom was also worried about her father, who is going through it, and also worried about Paul because they have no idea where Paul is. He just disappeared, so there's a whole lot going on. And in this case, Mira is like the rock of the family, trying to keep everything together, but it's very hard on her because actually has to put her emotions and how she feels aside in order to be there for her family. And her escape is actually by playing hockey, because she's actually the hockey captain in the beginning of the movie. But here comes another lady in the picture, and her name is Theresa. When a new player, Theresa, arrives to challenge her own views, which eventually lead to a life-changing night on the streets of Vienna. So basically, Theresa, she came to the team for the rest of the season, to get more playtime and just to learn how to be in a new team. But Theresa and Mira, they are way opposite people. Theresa is a very strong person with a very strong character. She doesn't let anyone overstep her, and she felt like Mira was very soft and she was just letting people overwalk her, and just things didn't vibe out with her very well because of that. So basically, they were not like enemies, they just didn't vibe with one another because of Mira. Mira didn't give Theresa a chance to approach her. She always looked at her sideways, because I felt like Mira actually felt like Theresa was competition and wanted to take her spot, but that wasn't the case as the movie progresses. So then, Mira's brother Paul, he actually comes back in the picture, and he explains to her that he ran away because he didn't know how to deal with the situation. And of course, at this point, her brother also wasn't ready to go back to the house to go, to go confront the grandpa and the mom regarding, everything that happened. So, Mira was keeping, this secret that her brother's actually back in town, a secret. And that's how everything started to develop between Mira and Theresa, because, Mira's brother and Theresa, they actually started to develop a very good relationship, like friendly relationship. So they always used to hang out together, all three of them go out, dress up, just have some fun, and just they really enjoying each other's time together. So that's how Mira and Theresa actually started to get together and just bond, but things didn't go as planned, because then another situation happened where, Mira's brother ran away again because he accidentally, hurt someone, but he didn't mean it, and his only way to avoid, facing reality was escaping. And after that, whole chaos just happened. A lot happened. And then of course Theresa, she confessed to Mira that the reason why she came to play in her team is because, the coach promised that a scout by the end of the season will be going looking out for her and see her, so they can possibly sign her to a new team. And of course Mira was a little bit upset about that, because she felt like the coach was betraying her. But then Mira also got stripped from her captaincy because she used to show up drunk. She didn't take her responsibilities very seriously. She was just losing it because she was hanging out a lot with her brother and just drinking and partying, and it started to affect her game, affecting her teammates. So she got stripped out of the captaincy, and that was really very, very, very hard on Mira, but she actually ended up dealing with it. And then, Mira and Theresa, they actually gets, romantically involved with one another, but then they got into a physical altercation where Mira actually threw in this case Theresa on the floor, and then she was hurt. And then Mira went to her brother to confront her brother and tell her, basically just tell him face to face that he needs to stop running away and face the reality of everything that's actually been going on. So after that, her brother actually ends up going to the house, seeing his grandpa, seeing his mother, talking, apologizing, explaining what happened. And after that, her brother actually ends up running away again. I feel like he just couldn't cope being there, And then after that, of course, they had the final match, and Mira and Theresa, they actually end up making up. Theresa told Mira, hey, you need to step up, you need to get your fire back. If you want your spot back, you need to get your fire back. So after that, they actually won the championship, and then Theresa, of course, she got an opportunity to do a tryout, in another team in the future. But at that time, so the tryout situation was already arranged. Theresa in this case got what she want. Mira also got what she wants. She finally got closure when it comes to her family, when it comes to her teammates. She finally got her spot back, and she actually helped the team out a lot to win the championship. So that was also something very good. So after that, at the end of the movie, you can actually see that Theresa and Mira, they reconnect with one another. And Theresa was like, hey, I have tryouts in June, but until then I'm gonna be staying here, and we're just gonna spend time together and do our thing. So they end up sharing a very, very beautiful moment at the end of the movie. And yes, they end up together, and apparently they have a happy ever after, which personally I really, really did like, because after that altercation that happened between them, I really thought they will just forgive each other and not go back to each other. But when I saw the chemistry that they have, I just knew that they would eventually figure it out and try to move on from the situation, and that's exactly what happened. So yes, guys, if you guys want the full details regarding the movie, this movie will actually be streamed in a couple of platforms. We are not 100% sure which all of them will be, but it looks like one of them allegedly will be VOD. So stay tuned to VOD and go check it out if you guys find it there. And if not, if any of you guys know where to watch it, please drop it down below in the comments. It was very, very, very important, because this movie is, I would definitely 100% recommend anyone to go watch it and actually to go support it. So yes, guys, that's basically it. Once again, the movie name is called Breaking the Ice. Yes, Breaking the Ice. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Until the next video, and goodbye.